You've been trained your whole life to be easy to deal with, agreeable, accommodating, never too much. And that training is quietly costing you everything, because the moment you made yourself easy to deal with, you made yourself easy to ignore. This video is about 7 behaviors that silently teach people what you're worth, and most of you have been teaching the wrong lesson for years. Let's begin. Behavior 1. Keep your word to yourself first. There's a man named Alex. Sharp guy, the friend everyone called when they needed something, always made time, never said no. From the outside, generous, reliable, good. But Alex was exhausted in a way sleep couldn't touch, because generosity wasn't driving him. Fear was. Fear that if he stopped being useful, people would stop showing up. And what did Alex do to himself in private? He broke every single promise he made to his own name. The workout he said he'd start. The boundary he said he'd hold, gone before the week ended. That quiet self-betrayal wasn't separate from how people treated him. It was the reason. Every time you break your word to yourself, you cast a vote. A vote that says your decisions carry no real weight. And that vote doesn't stay hidden. It bleeds outward, into your posture, into the way you hesitate, into that invisible signal people read without even trying. Epictetus spent years in physical chains and still understood something most free men never do. Real freedom isn't given by the world, it's built internally, one kept promise at a time. Start there. Everything else sits on top of that foundation. Break it, and nothing above it holds. Behavior 2. Stop over-explaining yourself. Count the sentences that follow the next time you say no to something. Most people don't stop at one. They give a reason, then a backup reason, then an apology wrapped around both of them, then a quiet reassurance that they're still a good person for saying no. By the end, the refusal barely exists. Alex did this every single time. He'd decline something and then spend 4 sentences convincing the other person he still valued them, still cared, still wasn't a problem. He was handing people leverage over his own decisions without realizing it. Over-explaining is approval-seeking dressed up as communication. It signals that your answer needs their acceptance to feel valid. And once someone learns they can expect that from you, they start counting on it. A complete sentence sounds like this: "That doesn't work for me." Nothing after it. No hedge, no guilt performance, just a clean statement from someone who trusts their own judgment. That kind of brevity isn't coldness, it's self-respect wearing quiet clothes. Behavior 3. Let discomfort exist without rushing to kill it. People pleasers are physically allergic to unresolved tension. The moment silence falls, they fill it. The moment someone seems upset, they move immediately to smooth it over. Not because things are resolved, because waiting feels unbearable. So they apologize when they're not wrong. They soften truths that needed to land hard. They chase the feeling of everything being okay instead of letting reality do what it needs to do. Marcus Aurelius wrote about responding to what genuinely requires a response, not simply to what feels urgent. Discomfort almost always falls in that second category. It feels like an emergency. It almost never is. When you stop reflexively patching every rough moment, something shifts. People stop expecting the tension to always bend in their direction, not a fragility waiting to be exposed. That steadiness is the quietest form of power available to you. Behavior 4. Receive a compliment without flinching. Someone tells you that you did something exceptionally well, and before they finish, you're already retreating. It was nothing, honestly. Anyone could have done it. I almost fell apart halfway through. You laugh it off. You redirect. You make yourself smaller than the moment they tried to give you. This isn't modesty. It's a subtle rejection of your own worth. And here's the mechanism that makes it dangerous. The way you receive a compliment teaches people how to see you. When you consistently dismiss their positive perception, they slowly begin to question it. You've corrected them enough times. They start believing you. Receiving well is a skill. 2 words: thank you. Then silence. Let it land. Let yourself be seen as capable without immediately dismantling the image. That 2-second pause where you allow yourself to be witnessed as worthy without flinching away from it, that is the practice. Behavior 5. Stop shrinking in rooms. You know exactly what shrinking looks like because you have done it. Sitting at the edge instead of pulling your chair in. Lowering your voice mid-sentence because the thought suddenly felt too large for the space. Apologizing for existing before anyone suggested you should. Body language is a language. When you walk into a room like you're not sure you belong there, the room tends to agree, not out of cruelty, out of simply taking your cue. Alex walked into every room slightly contracted, slightly apologetic, and people gave him exactly the amount of space he claimed, which was never quite enough. Seneca wrote about the art of simply being, not performing yourself for approval, not negotiating your right to stand where you're standing. You arrive, you sit, you speak at your actual volume. The room was never waiting for your apology. Stop writing it. Behavior 6. End what has already ended. Some things are over long before we release them. The friendship that runs entirely on obligation and old memory. The dynamic where you give, they receive, and that quietly became the permanent structure. Alex stayed in 3 of these simultaneously, convincing himself each time that loyalty looked like endurance. It doesn't. Staying past the point of reason doesn't make you devoted. It makes you someone whose presence can be assumed without being valued. And the longer you stay in dead things, the more you teach everyone around you that your time is not a finite resource, that your energy is just background noise, available to anyone who hasn't explicitly asked for it. Clean endings require no fire and no speech, just an internal decision. This is no longer mine to carry. When you begin releasing what has genuinely ended, you communicate something wordless and essential. Your presence goes where it is received, not where it is simply tolerated. Behavior 7. Respond. Never just react. Someone says something that gets under your skin, your pulse lifts. Every part of you wants to answer immediately, to match the energy, to make sure they understand exactly where you stand right now. That impulse is human. Acting on it every single time is how people pleasers hand their power to whoever is most willing to provoke them. Epictetus built his entire philosophy on one deceptively simple idea. Between what happens to you and what you do about it, there is a space. That space is where your character lives. Reaction closes it immediately. Response honors it. One breath, one pause, one moment where your considered self arrives before your wounded self makes a decision it will quietly regret. The night Alex finally stopped reacting, the room shifted, not because he said anything powerful, because he said nothing until he meant it. And when he spoke, people listened differently. That's not a technique. That's what self-possession actually looks like when it's real. 7 behaviors, none of them loud, none of them requiring you to become someone else. Alex didn't transform overnight. He just stopped purchasing people's presence with his own destruction. He started keeping small promises to himself, stopped explaining himself into the ground, let uncomfortable silences breathe, ended what was already over. And one day he looked up and realized the room had rearranged itself around a man it actually respected. That man was always there, buried under years of trying to be easy. Here is the only thing left to say. The people pleaser doesn't lose respect in one moment. They lose it one small surrender at a time, so gradually they almost never notice, until the day they look around and realize they've been disappearing for years, and everyone simply let them stop disappearing. Thank you for watching. If you want more raw, uncut wisdom, join my free newsletter. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.